I made this sheath a little while back for my Buck 119, complete with a knife sharpener on there. But the knife itself, I didn't do anything with. And I had an idea to do some modifications to it. But in order to do what I want to do, I'm going to have to take it apart. Man, it's hidden good on this one. There it is. You see it? Let me try to chemically enhance this. See if it'll work. There you go. Now you can see it. That is the pin that holds the pommel on, and hence the rest of the handle and the whole knife. Let's drill it out. Just going to use a couple pieces of cardstock to keep the blade from getting marred by my vise here. Alright, so I got this lined up right above my pinhole, and I'm using a center drill. These are typically associated with lathes, but I use them in my drill press here because just simply the way they're shaped, they don't flex like a normal twist drill bit does. So they're great for starting pilot holes like this. I'm getting a little bit of flex here, so I'm just going to give it some support. There you go. This is just some WD-40. So I don't know what kind of heat treatment Buck does to these knives, but it's pretty damn good. You can see it cut through fine through the aluminum, but once I got to the actual blade, it started to mess up these drills. So I had to kind of step down to a smaller drill bit. So my exit hole is a little bit smaller than my entry hole. It's not a big deal. I'll adjust that whenever I put it all back together again. But the most important thing is, there you go. And let's see. We do have some sort of adhesive on here. I'll try to take off what I can. Take some paper, some cardstock here. Keep tapping it home. Really does not want to come apart. So kudos to Buck. Let's see. Man, it is still tight. I think I got it. There you go. Alright, so there is your Buck 119. Fully torn apart. That'd be cool if I could change the color on that. Okay, before I go any further, this project and hence this video does have a sponsor. That is Creality. Creality was cool enough to send me out one of their new Falcon A1 Pro lasers. Yeah, and whether or not you take your pattern and stamp it all out in one blow with a die and a traditional leatherworker's clicker press, or cut it out on a laser, I don't see much of a difference between the two. Some people do. That's the way I use lasers, is as a poor man's clicker press, because it's a lot cheaper and a lot more versatile. Longtime viewers and subscribers of mine know that Creality is a long-term sponsor of mine. They were actually the very first company to ever send me a piece of tech. So this is a brand new model of theirs. This is the A1 Pro. diode and infrared, so you're going to have a lot of capabilities with this. So with the 20-watt diode module, you'll be able to cut wood, leather, plastics, acrylics. And with the A1 Pro, you get the 2-watt infrared module that just swaps out with that, and that'll let you engrave metals and stuff. Okay, so that is a pretty stiff piece of leather. That is almost 4 millimeters thick. Okay, so this is the Falcon Design Space. It's the free app that you get when purchasing the machine. It's sort of like Lightburn, but free with no subscription, which is my favorite part. And unlike some of the other house brand laser apps I've used, this one seems pretty feature rich. This is literally my first time trying it. Normally, I would do design work like this in Adobe Illustrator to create the art and then import into Lightburn. But this app seems fully capable of doing the type of work I normally need a laser for, so I'm just going to use this. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the lights here, so hopefully you can see this a little bit better. Ooh, that's pretty dramatic. All right, so one of the nice things about this machine, even though it's a budget model, or it's being marketed as such, is that it does have its own LED screen, which is a first of any of the lasers that I've had, even much more expensive ones. It does a self-check. You can run the machine wirelessly through Wi-Fi. Technically, it's through the cloud. You can do firmware, software updates, all that stuff is done right here. You can run jobs from here. So yeah, if you ever have any issues with it, you can go here and hit device, and let's see, and you can tell if it's got the latest firmware. Already has the latest firmware, everything's been updated, but if it wasn't, you would just click here and it would automatically update itself to fix any bugs or anything like that. So that is really nice. Yes, and this laser also has autofocus, which is quickly becoming one of my must-haves. I am able to get that little piece off. This looks like some G10 material, or G10 type material. I've got some of my own here. Red. I'm going to redesign a couple of these in the Falcon software that comes with the machine. I'm going to go with the red. One of the things I like about this machine is that it has this additional door here. This is going to make it easier for storage. I'll be able to store this on a shelf and not have to worry about clearance up above to have to open up this door. I can just do everything through this front. Very nice. Okay, so as mentioned, the A1 Pro comes with the 2-watt infrared laser module. That is going to allow you to basically engrave with like metals like gold, silver, brass, aluminum, stainless steel, that kind of stuff. So we're just gonna pull that off there. Pull that out. There's your 20-watt diode. Swap it in with the infrared. Whoops. There's a little lever here that you have to kind of press down. And it's just that easy. Alright, so this is, I believe it's tin-plated aluminum or steel. I can't remember. I think it's steel. And that's a pretty small mark. You can see the detail you get on that. Looks pretty good. I like the color on it. Alright, hopefully you guys can see that. The color is nice and dark, the detail's good, and you can see how small that is. And again, this is with the 2-watt infrared laser. That looks good. And just playing around with the little dog tag on black acrylic. The IR laser does really good on black acrylic. I'm not sure how it does it, but it just turns it white, so it makes it really good for signs and stuff like that. Here's the IR module on slate. Not bad. Okay, a little bit more on this machine here. Unlike my other lasers, this is a fairly compact size. So I'm thinking it's going to be mobile enough to take to craft shows. Something I don't do a lot of, but I do plan to do a lot in the future. Not only do they have the new Falcon design space that you can actually create the designs in, but they also have a mobile app that you can use to connect the two together here. To connect the app and the laser, you just scan the QR code on the machine screen and it just magically pairs the two. Not sure how it happens. Now, my personal opinion is that designing and working with files on a tiny mobile screen is a bit fidgety. I would personally just use my computer for this, as my eyes are just shot. But it's come to my attention that not everyone has a computer and would rather work on their phones. So in that case, you do have the mobile app. So you can see by this, the original spacer and the hilt, I have taken this down quite a bit. It's much slimmer. And that is going to be the general thesis of this, is I'm slimming the whole thing down. perfect. Okay, so as mentioned at the beginning, when I was drilling out this pin, I went a little oversized, and once I hit the actual blade here, it completely stopped and destroyed my drill bits once I hit the actual blade itself. So I had to step down. So ergo, my hole on one side of the pommel is smaller than the other side. So what I've had to do, this is why I bought that mini lathe, is I've turned this little piece of brass. I'm going to turn this into a lanyard hole. So I wanted that to be hollow. So I've turned this down. So this end, it'll go through here. It's gonna slide out the other side right here just fine. It's gonna be a little bit oversized on this side, but that is where I'm using this piece of aluminum that I turned, and that's gonna end up filling up the space on this end. And once I tap this all in, it'll mushroom out and hold everything in place, and then once you grind it and buff it, it'll look just fine. It's a pretty tight fit. Alright, so I've done some initial grinding here, and at some point I switch over to this sander because I've actually taken this and pushed it back so you can kind of push on it, and it does better with just conforming to curves and stuff like that than the my larger sander. Obviously, always make sure you're wearing your respirator when you're doing this. Alright, so to finish this up, I'm going to be profiling this by hand using the sanding fabric. You can actually find this on my Amazon store. In case you didn't know, I do have an Amazon affiliate link in the video descriptions that you could go in and find most of the tools and the materials that I use in my videos just in one handy spot there. So, but yeah, so let's go ahead and do this. This stuff is super easy to use. And this is really good for blending the leather in with the aluminum, the pommel and the hilt. You can see I can actually take this all the way up to the edge here, which would have been pretty difficult to do on the belt sanders. And I can blend this in really nicely down here. All right, finishing up. Let's put some token oil on it. For this, I use denim to buff it in.